Okay, Bill, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about why we're here. I'm going to ask a few questions about, from the time that you were a whippersnapper growing up. Where did you originally grow up when you were as a youth? You were born where?
North Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Oh, you're from Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
So was your family in coal mining?
Well, my grandfather was.
He
yes.
was, eh?
Yeah, he got buried under.
In part of Westray, you think, or?
Well, like I said, I grew up. Like I lived in North Sydney. My grandfather used to be in a coal mine around there somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, Westray's a little more modern, I guess, but a lot of coal mining, right, in Sydney. I said, well, a lot of folks from Nova Scotia, that part of Nova Scotia for sure. Yeah, Cape Breton. Yeah. So you were born in Cape Breton.
North Sydney, yeah.
And then where did you move after Cape Breton? And,
well, see, my parents broke up. I don't really know that part, but my parents broke up over religion.
Okay.
So my grandparents raised me.
Okay.
And my mother was a Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
And my dad was raised a Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay.
And the kids broke them up. So all of a sudden, the guy from my dad showed up because he worked up here, and took me and my sister, and he brought us up to Ontario. But then he boarded us out of different places.
Okay.
So I was going to different schools.
In the Sudbury area.
In the all over Sudbury.
And how old were you then?
I was 9 when I started.
9.
Yeah.
And you had a younger sister? Or older?
Yeah.
Okay.
Younger sister.
What was her name?
Winifred.
Winifred.
Yeah, and she. Well, if you want to know her, she's the one you'll see. You do a whole story about her. She's the one that started, and she still is. Charged wrongly convicted. She's in charge of that program right from day one.
Okay.
She started it.
Yeah. So she's got a pretty big job.
Yeah. Well, she still does it.
Yeah. Nice. Where does she live now?
In Toronto.
In Toronto.
Yeah.
You just keep in touch with her?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's a younger sister by how much?
2 years.
A couple of years.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in Sudbury now. Where did you settle?
Well,
You're kind of moving around.
Well, my dad remarried.
Yeah.
And so you ever hear of Dog Patch?
Yep.
Gorham's Landing?
Yep.
Well, we lived in Gorham's Landing until he got a house in Onaping.
Okay. And what was your dad employed as? Like?
Falconbridge. He worked he was a crusher operator at Hardy Mill.
In the mines.
In the mill, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And he did that for a long time, I guess, or?
Well, he did it until he took his pension. He had 30 years in.
Okay. Yeah. So where were you living at that point? If he was working at Hardy, were you still in the Dog Patch area? Or?
No, Onaping.
You moved up to Onaping.
Yeah, in '58.
Okay. And how long were you in Onaping for?
Well, the house is still there, but the family have passed on.
Sure.
My brother got the house.
Okay. And about what time frame was it when you were in the Onaping area?
Like I said, we moved there in 1958.
Yep.
And then I left there in '61. I joined the Army.
Okay. So how old were you when you joined the Army?
17.
You were 17.
They had to sign a permission slip.
Yeah, like a waiver.
Yeah, they let me go. Get out of here.
Yeah, you were too young.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still like that. You still have to sign a permission slip there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what brought you about to wanting to join the Army? What was the influence?
I had neighbors that were in the Army, and I hung around with their sons. Like Gay Dermody was the president of the Legion here for 2 terms.
Yeah.
His dad, Howard, I talked to him. I talked to Mr. Smith, used to be and they were in the Second World War, and I said, oh, I'm going nowhere because I'm down here. So there was an ad in the paper one time, so I filled it out, and they accepted me, and my parents had to sign.
Yeah.
Then I went to Toronto, what's the name of that hospital there? I had to go to Sunnybrook Hospital, get a medical.
For medical?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after I passed my medical, I went to Wolseley Barracks, London, Ontario.
Okay. And that's where you did basic training?
That's where I did my basic training.
Sure. What do you remember about basic training?
Well, it was strenuous.
Yeah.
I met a lot of people. It was all new to me.
About how many were you?
Well, there's about 32 in a platoon.
And how many platoons?
Well, I can't remember.
A bunch, though?
Well, yeah, there's all kinds.
Quite a few hundred?
And see, where I went, where I trained in Wolseley Barracks, didn't matter, you didn't know what outfit you're going in.
Oh, sure.
I knew I was going to 1 RCR, but a friend of mine, he went to Remy, went to Kingston. So we're all doing the same training.
So Remy is electrical mechanical engineers.
In Kingston.
Yeah. And so now and then I'll interject in case there's a lot of the, civvies, they don't understand the lingo, so I got to explain it to them. You're in Wolseley Barracks. Where is that?
That's London, Ontario.
In London, okay.
Yeah.
So there was a big base in London at one time.
That's what was it.
And it was mostly tankers, though, like armored.
Oh,
right?
Okay. Not what I love Wolseley. No word. But the closest base that's where I went for a month. It It was Camp Ipperwash.
Okay. And Ipperwash is
1 RCR.
close to, it's north of, it's around the Peterborough area, isn't it? Where's Ipperwash exactly?
Around Grand Bend, all up that way.
Grand Bend. Okay, so it's still in southern Ontario. So after, what else do you remember about boot camp? What types of things did you do there? Tell us about a day or a week or a month.
Well, we did, most of it is getting in shape. Like we had to do a certain amount of kilometers. Not back then it's miles.
Miles, yeah.
Yeah, we had to do 9 miles and
Yeah.
all kinds of training like that. Marching, that's right.
Physical activity.
That's right.
Yeah. What else did they teach you?
Well, that's what we did. We just stayed. We didn't do anything until I went to the 1 RCR. That's when I did the training.
How long were you in basic training though for? It must have been 8 or 10 weeks at least.
Well, I'd say about 6 weeks. Could
6
be.
weeks, yeah. So what I remember is learning how to march, learn how to salute, basic military traditions, rank structure, that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, we learned that.
Yeah, and that was all basic training stuff. We learned how to fire the rifle.
Yeah, FNC-1.
FNC-1, yeah, that's what you remember, right?
Yeah.
And so the FNC-1 was the Canadian Armed Forces service rifle at the time.
That's right.
Yeah, semi-automatic. And
then you had a FNC-1
yeah,
that was automatic, and then it had a tripod on the end of it.
yeah, the FNC-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the light machine gun.
That's right.
Yeah, and so those are the sorts of things that you learn how to operate and how to do in the basic training. And then after basic training, where did you go?
I went to Camp Ipperwash.
Ipperwash, and that's where you knew you were part of 1
Well, that's when I went to 1 RCR.
RCR. So
Yeah.
RCR stands for the Royal Canadian Regiment.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's a number of different, so 1 RCR, 2 RCR, there's a number of different regiments. And based on the number, some are located in today's world, some are in Petawawa, and some are out west. And so
See, when I was at, the army base that was in, you're right, the army base that was in London, that's where the 2nd RCR were.
yeah,
They were stationed in London where they did the basic
sure.
training.
Yeah. And you mentioned Oromocto just when we were introducing each other. You mentioned Oromocto Gagetown is there's another big Royal Canadian Regiment out there.
Well, no, that's where the Black Watch and all that are.
It was then.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, maybe now, because
Yeah, now
don't forget,
it's-
I'm talking 61.
Yeah, yeah. So now it's mostly known for the RCR
Yeah.
in Gagetown.
But see, after I went to 1 RCR, they sent me to specialized training in Meatford for mortar training.
Outside of One Sound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the Meatford,
And you were doing what there?
mortar training.
And tell the crowd what's a mortar?
It's a weapon that stands up on an angle. Then you got to read a map and all that, and
Yeah.
they'll tell you what to put on it. Then you just put a bomb. I got pictures of it.
So like a small artillery piece.
That's right.
And what was the range of that thing?
I
Remember?
can't remember.
No, but it wasn't a mile or nothing. It was a few hundred yards, right?
You're likely.
Yeah. So you were pretty close at that point. If you needed that as part of a wartime, you'd be pretty close to the enemy at that point.
Yeah, that's
for
right.
Sure. Yeah. So you learned how to use the mortar in Meaford.
Yeah.
Anything else in Meaford that
No,
specialized
that's
training?
it. Because we just went there for that, and we went back to our base in Ipperwash.
Yeah.
And then from there, they sent me to Oromocto, New Brunswick, Camp Gagetown.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of specialized training there. And one of the things they did there, I remember it to this day, they put us in a back of a truck, all screened in,
Yeah.
tarped in, and they'd bring us off, give us a reference on a map.
Yeah.
We had a map with us, and we had to, within 3 days, we had to go through this optical course, and every place you had so long to go, and there's a places for rations. If you're there an hour late, the rations would be gone. So I just lucked out. I went through it, no problem at all. And then because before that, they told me I was going home for Christmas. After I went past it, they told me now, he said, you're on the advance party to go to Germany.
Oh. So because you did a good job, they found you another job.
Yeah, because they told me I got a picture of it in my album there where we're all on SS Rheindan going to, we landed in Rotterdam.
So that was a ship.
Yeah, it's a personal, like we were in with the regular people. We dressed in suits, not in our uniform.
Sure. And where did you leave from? Halifax or?
No, Montreal.
Oh, to Montreal.
Yeah.
And landed where?
And Rotterdam.
Rotterdam. Okay. And then from Rotterdam, busted, I guess, or took the train?
No, the train.
Train.
To South Germany.
To South.
Yeah.
So, and how long were you there for?
Well, I was in Germany for over 2.5 years, almost 3 years.
Okay.
Closer to 3.
Yeah.
Because I only spent 3 months in Canada and overseas.
Sure.
And I got out in November of '64.
So what would an average day look like? Do you remember in Zaus? Like what would an infantry person in the RCR, what were you doing there? Like
We're doing a lot of training. And then when I went over there, they still had the Berlin Wall.
yeah,
When people trying to cross it, be shot.
yeah. That was only in the 80s they got rid of that. So for sure it would have
I
been
was there, in, like I said, in '61.
Yeah, yeah. What other types of things were you doing? A lot of training?
Lots of specialized training, but the thing like they let us almost train a little bit on our own. Like we were out doing training, they didn't say nothing. We had our poncho and all the equipment, and where did half the big guys go up on the hill? Guess what? It rained.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then another thing they showed us that they tell the guy to go about 50 feet over there, and take a puff on your cigarette.
oh,
And a dark day, light up like a tail light.
yeah, no
For what
doubt.
you aim at.
Yeah.
When you see it light up, you know it's somebody's head.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a pretty strict protocol about how to smoke a cigarette in the field, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
But see, after that, they're looking for drivers. So Sergeant Kingston came over to me. He said, "Look," he said, "I need some good, experienced drivers." Well, I said, "I drove 2 years in Onaping, but I never drove military vehicles."
Yeah.
No, he said, "We'll put you on the obstacle course, see how you do." So that's what I did. So the rest of my term, was a driver.
Okay.
And the first time I drove, we had soldiers in the back of our truck, and we're going around, and the poor guys are sitting on a wooden bench, so it'd go fairly slow. So Major McManus was the major then. He was in the Korean War. He called all the drivers aside. He said, "You mean to tell me that you'd be driving that goddamn slow if somebody's shooting at you with a machine gun?" He said, "Drive like somebody's shooting at you."
Yeah. What kind of truck was it?
3/4 ton.
Not a deuce and a half.
No, I drove that too. I got pictures of it.
Yeah. So for the crowd, the deuce and a half looks like a dump truck, but it doesn't have the box. And they carry around logistics and
Well, I got pictures of it right there.
Sure.
The ones I got are tarped.
Yeah, I think we're very interested in getting some of those pictures. Once we're done,
Yeah.
we'll include some of those with your permission on
Oh, yeah,
as
no
part
problem.
of this. Yeah. So what kind of things, you weren't on duty the whole time. What sorts of things did you do in Germany when you weren't on duty?
Well, our favorite place to go was Amsterdam, Holland.
Why would you go to Amsterdam?
Meet the girls.
Yeah, yeah. And what do you remember about Amsterdam other than the girls?
Well, I remember about Amsterdam. I'll never forget it as long as I live. There's a place called My Home,
Okay.
and the woman only took in Canadians. She loved Canadians,
Yeah.
and she tried to make us the home meal,
Yeah.
a Canadian meal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So I remember being there myself, and once some of the bar owners, sailors, were always in the bar. Some of the older gentlemen would remember the Canadian soldiers, and I remember one saying, the Canadian soldiers walked right down this, and so the pub they owned was for generations. He was, I don't know how many generations they owned that same pub, and so our money was no good. Everything we wanted to eat or drink was on the house, and he was just so grateful for Canadians liberating Holland, and I imagine your experience was probably similar.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Like they loved Canadians. And I asked a couple of people, "How can you tell the difference?"
Yeah,
And they told me.
yeah, yeah.
They said the Canadians are easy to get along with and all that, and the other guys are bragging how good they are.
And polite, yeah.
And polite, yeah.
Yeah. And
But the one thing when you talk about traveling there, see, they don't do it anymore, but when we traveled, we went by train from South Germany to Amsterdam. Well, there used to be a guy on the train. He'd go around he had a big black bag in front of him, go around and change the money, and Germany was marks,
sure.
and Holland was guilders.
Yeah,
So they changed the money for us.
Yeah, yeah.
But he had guards with him.
yeah,
But like Canadians, they were well respected there.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. So any other fond memories of when you weren't in the uniform on duty, other than Amsterdam? What types of things? Did you get to travel the rest
Well, I'll
of
tell you, and this happened to me, like what advantage with me getting on the advance party over there, the people from the 2nd Battalion were coming back home. So a guy was selling a car for 200 marks, an Opel. So I bought it.
Okay.
So I used to travel around with that on the Autobahn where there's no lower level. I mean, you couldn't go on unless you were over 80.
Yeah.
And I won't forget it, me and a few chums, we went to Austria. And the day we were there, that's the day President Kennedy got assassinated.
Oh.
And the whole bar was closed. And then we had to go back to our base because of what happened.
November 1963.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Another thing I forgot to mention when you asked me what happened before I went, well, that's the day that the Russians were trying to put missiles in Cuba.
Okay, the Cuban crisis.
That's right.
Yeah.
We were all on high alert. Our backs were all packed and everything laying on the parade square,
Yeah.
ready to go.
Ready to go, eh? Yeah, it was pretty scary, pretty tense, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Waiting for the other side to blink. Yeah. So that's the 1963, 1964 time. You're probably getting close to your 3 years of service.
Yeah. Well, see, another place I went, like right beside us is Fort Henry.
Okay.
That was the headquarters for the military. Like that's where all the big boys were.
American, or was it like
Canadian.
NATO? Okay.
Canadian.
Canadians.
Yeah. Fort Henry.
Okay.
I was from Fort York.
Okay.
And down the hill from there, I went to visit that, and that's the Monacy Dam. You must have heard about that. They were trying to blow it up during the Second World War.
Was it part of the Dam Buster?
That's the show it's in.
Okay.
That,
Yeah.
The Monacy Dam. We went
Yeah.
to visit that.
Okay. So back in the Second World War, what Bill's talking about is they actually had planes go in on very low, low flight path, and they had these large barrels that they would drop, and they would actually skip like a rock across the water, and the idea was to blow up the dams. So they were trying to interrupt the electrical grid, and of course, if you blew up a dam, it would be all kinds of water flooding everything. But that was part of what Bill's mentioning, is that one dam in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Monacy. We used to go visit, and they told us that there is actually live rounds still down there.
Oh, really?
In the sand,
Yeah.
buried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. That's crazy to think about. Any other memorable moments from Europe?
Yeah, we were touring the area one time, and we're going through this out in the bush there, and I asked Sergeant Kingston, so what are all these people doing here? It was all people that were displaced from the war.
Yeah.
That was sad to see too.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I also toured the Hitler's Tower, they called it. They used to have a big tower not far from Belsen.
Was that where the range was?
Yeah.
Like the tank range?
Yeah.
So we had another gentleman here earlier, a couple days ago, and he relayed the story about Hitler's
tower.
Yeah, and he would watch the exercise happening with the tanks.
That's right.
Yeah. And I believe he was in Zaus as well. Anyways,
He might have been in Fort York. And
yeah, he was part of the Armored Corps.
Oh, they were. Okay, that must be
Centurions.
Dole.
Jerry.
Okay.
I don't remember Jerry's last name right now, but
Good.
anyways,
Yeah.
he had some stories to tell about that. Yeah, he did 3 years as well. Did you get promoted in your 3 years?
No, I was, like I said, I got promoted to an A-plate driver. I had a good job. I was going around all over picking up things like that, but then I didn't. We had exercise. That's the thing I'll remember too. Every time we had an exercise, we were down at the Red Patch Club or someplace having a few little drinkies.
Red Patch, so that's a mess of some sort where
That's,
they served alcohol and.
That's Canadian.
Yeah.
One of the outfits from Canada put it as Red Patch. We called it the Red Patch Club, but we used to go and drink there.
Sure.
And guess what? 3 o'clock in the morning, the siren would go for a bug out. Well, my job then, because I carry troops, I had to run to South Germany, and the married personnel were already informed that we're on the way. They'd be waiting out in front of their units there, the Canadian units. We'd pick them up, then we're going to bug out. But 90% of the time, we had a lot to drink.
Yeah.
And guess what? The first thing we went up and we're out on exercise, the beer tent and the mess hall.
Yeah. Nice. So you're getting close to the end of your 3 years in the service. What does that look like? So you're transitioning. Tell us about transitioning from Germany back to Canada. Where did you end up, and how did all that go?
Well, see, I didn't know if I was going to re-enlist or not.
Okay.
So they sent me home, and from Germany, but you wait a longer because you have to wait for a flight. You're not going to just send one guy. And so when I got back to Onaping, somebody heard I was there, and Falconbridge phoned me up. Said, "We're looking for guys." He said, "Are you interested?" I said, "Well, how much do you pay?" They told me. I said, "Oh, I'm interested."
So it's probably more than you made in the Army.
Oh, a lot more. So then I went to back in that hospital in Toronto, and then I got my release papers, and then I started for Falconbridge. But like one of the questions you had is, it was funny getting back into civilian life because they're so used to being like disciplined.
Yeah.
So I used to call everybody sir and
Yeah.
listen to everything they're saying.
Respect.
Yeah, they couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Here's a young man, 20 years old, and
Yeah.
he's doing what he's told.
Yeah, for sure. What job did you join with? It was with Falconbridge?
Yeah.
What job did you join at that time?
Well, I joined started out as a labor.
Okay.
Then they sent me and one supervisor over to start the Strathcona mill.
That's about 1965?
64.
64, okay.
Yeah.
So starting up Strathcona Mill.
Yeah, I went the first hourly paid employee in there.
Okay, yeah. And how long did you stay in the general labor role?
Not
was
long.
that your whole career? Or?
No, I the last 10 years and more, I was a trainer.
Okay,
And then right after I finished taking the training there, the city of Sudbury hired me, and I did 17 years with the city, doing training for all the new people they hired, like the students and all that.
what kind of training were you doing with Falconbridge?
Well, I was doing like Common Core and everything else.
Okay, so you did a number of years with Falconbridge. How many?
I did 35.
35 years with Falconbridge.
Yeah.
And then you went to the city?
No, I didn't go. They phoned me.
Well, I mean, you
Yeah, I went
left
there.
to Falconbridge and you went to the city after.
Yeah, I went on pension, and they found out I was there. And Madeline Marichuk, I don't know if you know her. She
yeah.
was the mayor of the city one time.
Yes.
Well, she's the one
Mary
who
Ann.
phoned. Mary Ann phoned me
Yeah.
and said, "We want you to train for us." 'Cause I had my government training certificate where I could sign people off.
What types of training were you doing with the city?
Well, I was doing all the students that come in.
Okay, like any summer students, summer employment,
That's right.
all of the health and safety training.
Then they want. Hey,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Mary Ann was in the health and safety role at the time, right?
That's right.
'Cause I worked for the city for 17 years in water and wastewater. When I joined in 2008 timeframe, I think she was either just in health and safety or just got out.
Well, Miller was. She was working for somebody by the name Miller.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that.
He lived in Lively,
All right.
and every year she'd come and make sure I was going to come back.
So you were seasonal type work, or?
No, seasonal. I just
Yeah.
did it because I told her I don't work. Like, Ingo offered me a job too, and I turned it down. I said I didn't take my pension, so I'd work for the city just as they hired young students come out of university.
Sure. Yeah. And you did that for 17 years.
Yeah.
When did you call it quits with that city job?
Well, I got I forget what year it was, but I did. Like, Marianne was long gone, and there was different people and everything, and they start cutting hours back and all this type of thing.
Sure. Yeah. And so I'm going to venture into some of your family life. Tell us a bit about, like, you were single in the Army when you were in.
Yeah.
So tell us about family life when you got back. Did you get married or?
Well, I got married. Yeah, I met. I used to hang out at the Welcome here in Chelmsford, and I met a girl, Diane St. Ange,
Okay.
and so we ended up getting married. I got a boy and a girl.
How is Diane still with us?
Yeah.
And how long you been married?
That's a long time, over 50 years.
50 years, eh? Yeah.
Well, 54.
Yeah. And you have 2 boys?
No, a boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl.
Yeah.
And how old are they? I guess adult.
Sean is 53, my daughter's 52.
Okay. Yeah. And what do they do for a living?
Well, my daughter used to be in charge of all the buses for the schools,
Okay.
but now they got their own business. My son-in-law started his own business because he got pensioned off at Inco, and he started his Excess, is called.
Okay.
That's what he does. And my son works at Duberville.
Like the town of Duberville.
Well, he works in the mine there,
Okay.
the gold mine.
Oh, he's in there a couple of weeks at a time, sort of thing?
14 days in, 14 out.
Sure. And what sort of work does he do at the mines?
He drives one of those big ukes.
Okay. A rock truck.
Yeah.
Big rock truck.
Yeah.
Nice. So you met your wife, Diane. Where did you settle? Are you still in the same home where you and Diane eventually?
Yes.
Where
On
is that?
Brookside.
Okay, so in
You know
Chelmsford.
you know where Champlain School is?
I know Brookside because there's a lift station on Brookside.
Okay.
So I know that because I was in water and wastewater for a long time. But you're in Chemmy,
Yeah.
not far from the Whitson River and all that.
Well, I'm right down Brookside. You went farther down the road to hit the Ridgewood River. Yeah.
Okay, sure. And you've been there close to 50 or 60 years, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. What sorts of things other than work, what do you do to fill your time? Hobbies and activities?
Well, when I first started at Falconbridge, a bunch of guys got together and coaxed me to go on negotiations, so I negotiated a contract
on the union side?
on the union side.
Yep.
And then I spent 10 years in minor hockey, And I was the president of the co-op here in Chelmsford. We built the co-op there on Keith
Okay.
Street.
Yeah.
And then I was 6 years at St. Gabriel.
Okay. There's a lift station on Keith Street too. That's how I reference everything, is where the water and wastewater equipment is in the city. Yeah. So what about these days? What fills your days? What do you...
Well, we're always busy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I stay busy.
What sorts of things though?
Well, like in the summer, we spend the summer on the island
Sure.
at Stanley.
You said you're at Stanley Park.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
in the winter, my granddaughter has a baby, a little over 2, so every chance we get, they live in the valley, we go over and visit. And we're just over there 2 days in a row.
Nice.
Yeah.
So just one grandchild so
Well,
far?
I got one granddaughter,
Okay.
and then I got a grandson.
Oh, you have a great-great-grandson.
Yeah, he's 2. Yeah, my granddaughter had a Hunter, they call him, but
Yeah.
he's 2.5 years.
And where are they located?
They're both in Belcairn.
Okay.
My son-in-law lives on Maine. He got 38 acres there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I'm not too far. I'm near the Canadian Tire in Hamner.
Oh yeah, I know where
So
that
I
is.
go across Maine quite often there.
Yeah.
All right. Just let me check my list. Is there anything else that come to mind that you might
No.
want to include?
I don't know.
You're doing pretty good?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, your health is the most important thing.
Sure.
Yeah. The only thing now is I got to do every 2 years. I got to go and get my license. Right.
Oh, yeah,
Starts
yeah.
when you're 80.
Yes. And a lot of older folks are saying the same. Like it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I have to redo that all the time. You're still driving better than most of the young people, but they
Well,
want
I
you to go
never
in.
touch wood. I never ever had an accident.
Oh,
yet.
good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Another
Another thing I like with the city, and I don't know if all the communities do it, but you're entitled to it too. When you're a vet, you can park downtown
Yes.
for nothing. You
That's
get
right.
the hospital, but it's got to be city property.
Yeah.
Or you can go to the hospital, they don't charge you.
Yeah, that's right. So a good friend of mine was some of the ramrod behind the hospital one. But yeah, so those sorts of things we kind of keep tuned in. We're part of a larger veterans group. I've got some information for you. I'm going to give it to you when you're on the way out the door there. But Bill, I want to say thank you for coming in today.
No, pleasure being here.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Glad to meet you.
And thank you for your service, and
No.
and it was a really fascinating chat. I sure enjoyed
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I hope you did too.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I said, all my comrades, their pictures are there. And when you mention this, and I'm bringing out my album,
Yeah.
brings back a lot of memories.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and how close you actually get to
So one
somebody.
question, I guess we already concluded, but do you still keep in touch with any of those guys?
Yes, I do.
You do, eh?
And there's one thing I didn't mention it, but
You'll have to feather this in.
no, you don't have to feather in. But what I couldn't believe, when we were stationed in Germany. We had this one guy. He served in in Korea,
Yeah.
and we used to call him Shaky Fraser because he drank a lot.
Okay.
And
He wasn't in the army. He didn't drink a lot, did he?
No, no, but the thing that peeved me off, we're going every time we go to the mess hall. If he's with us, we would heard a loud noise. He'd be heading for under a table, anything.
Uh-huh.
Then one day, the two military police, the provosts, what we call them,
Yeah.
showed up with the staff sergeant. Pack your bags. They threw them out
Uh-huh.
right on the street. The guy, like what the guy went through, but they didn't have any, like what you're doing now to help the vets.
Yeah,
Didn't
Veterans
have any of
Affairs
that.
and things. Yeah, yeah.
They didn't have anything to help
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Because I'm talking 62, 63.
yeah. Well, there's still a lot of vets today that think they still throw them on the street. Some of the services that they would appreciate to have but don't get.
Yeah.
They're always fighting and clamoring. Anyways.
The only thing I wish, because I thought of this a lot, because I used to go visit Mr. Spencer a lot, that you did this earlier, and you had to talk to Gail or Clem,
Yeah.
because that would have been a perfect guy to interview. Because I used to go see him a couple times a month
Sure.
at Pioneer Manor. He's the only guy that they let have, his new wife in with him.
Yeah.
And every time I'd walk in, out would come his Legion uniform with all the medals on it, and he'd
Yeah.
have tears in his eyes telling me.
Yeah.
He'd think about it, and that bothered me. He said, imagine this, he said, I had a platoon, which is 30-some guys in it,
Yeah.
and I'm the only guy that survived.
Yeah.
Then I went and helped liberate Holland.
Yeah. Survivor's guilt, they call that.
And another thing I did too, when, I don't know if you had people in the Legion here, but Gay Dermody,
I know Gay.
he used to be my neighbor
Yeah.
in Onaping, but I go to the cemetery here in Chelmsford, and I found this Veterans Way.
Yeah.
All these veterans are buried there. Glenn Saburn, I can name them all.
Sure.
So I brought it up to the Legion one time when I was at a meeting. I said, "What? Well, how come nobody does anything? It's not even recognized. They're all dirty, covered. The
Yeah.
headstone." So Gay went and put poppies and everything there,
Nice.
which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, they still do that, and they're still finding veterans' graves right through Sudbury and some of the older spots. Yeah. Well, anyways, there's lots to do. There's never any lack of work to do when it comes to veterans.
How long
That's for
are
sure.
you? How many people are after me? Or am I yet?
We're more than halfway through. Probably another 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
So some are tentative. We haven't booked them yet, but yeah.
Because I got like that girl I told you, her brother, Tina there. Her brother's the one I was telling you that's back on helping the veterans. He
Sure.
was Lieutenant Colonel,
Yeah.
last name Jock. I
Yeah.
forget his first name. But she's in charge of all the sea cadets on Manitoulin Island.
Okay.
She's way up there, lieutenant something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she started off as a kid. Now she's a grown woman and
Yeah.
still does it.
Is she in town here?
No.
On the island, Little Turn.
No, when you were there, now that you're at Providence Bay, I'll see you there this summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to the Cenotaph for D-Day.
Like the main one.
Right at, where you go right by it.
Yeah.
Right at Monument Road.
Yeah. We stopped a few times. It's a nice cenotaph.
Okay, you go there every year, because a lot of guys from here that were in the Legion here go, but every year they have a Remembrance Day for D-Day.
On D-Day.
Yeah, and they got a cenotaph there just for the ladies that died during the war.
Yeah.
They got one for the Navy,
Yeah.
one for the Army, one for the Air Force.
Yeah.
All separate.
So my grandfather that was in the Queen's Own, he grew up on Coburn Island,
Okay.
and he had to come over to Gore Bay to join. So his when he enlisted in the Second World War, and then they shipped him over to England and got ready to go, And yeah, he was on in the D-Day, and then 18, not quite 18 months before he was wounded in action, but went through Holland as part of the, they talk about Nijmegen. You probably heard the Nijmegen March.
Yeah, well, I was on it.
He was
They had them.
He was part of the original Nijmegen March. Like when they marched through Holland and Nijmegen, that was, and they to this day, NATO forces still go every year and do the Nijmegen March. It's part of a huge ceremonial march. That's it's quite distinguished. They don't just take anybody. It's it's pretty amazing. Anyways, my grandfather was part of the original one. Yeah, back in the Second World War.
Because I had a guy across from me from Nova Scotia too, Charlie Stalder, I never forget him, and he was bumped right across from me. But he always wanted action. So as soon as he got his time come up in the Canadian Army, joined the American, 6 months later he's gone, dead.
Wow.
We went into Vietnam, eh?
Vietnam, yeah. One of our other interviewees mentioned the same, that it was a bunch of Canadian soldiers left the Canadian Army and wanted to go to Vietnam, yeah. It was quite a number, I think.
Because there's a lot of people and from Levac when I went in, there's about maybe 10 more went in, like Billy, I named them all, that went in when I went in, but there's not too many left.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
It's valuable.